welcome back to Chapter 3 of Danganronpa Antebellum Lockdown. I think last time I forgot to say Chapter 3 and I'm very sad about it, so but I have to move on because so much more emotional wreckage stuff happened last episode, so I'm trying to focus on that instead of maybe spoiling people because I can't focus on that right now. But, however, in the previous episode, we went through a lot. We got through Zeke's interrogation, which hopefully means he's going to survive because now I really want to... Honestly, I kind of want all of these characters to survive, and it kind of is draining me slowly as we continue this chapter, knowing that inevitably one of these characters is going to be dead by the end of it, and I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. But yeah, after Zeke's interrogation, we talked with Fu, just kind of further confirmed about his relations to this killing game. Alora interrogated us and heavily implied she has interrogated other people, which is very concerning to hear about, considering no one has ever mentioned it in the night meeting. So, what has she been saying to them? Why haven't they said anything to us in the night meetings? What is she go threaten them with? That kind of terrifies me to think about. But yeah, basically, Alora has brought up what I've said before, and she was like saying, "Shinku, you have power here. You're the only one who we don't know who Scribe is." And it was just, she was basically saying how he was in a position where she couldn't really gain or level how threatening he was to the overall group, and in her words, she said he was a liability, which I think is a bit of a harsh way to put it, but I see where she's coming from. But ultimately we didn't tell her anything, and actually we kind of got her to break a little bit and she opened up that her earpiece, she made a deal with the people running this game that they imported a Taka AI with everything he said during the killing game, which is like, okay, Ismene, go with you, learn nothing, don't change at all. But she did say that if she got out of this killing game alive and she got everyone out with her, she would take out the earpiece once and for all, which is like, I guess we'll find out if that's true. She's either going to die or she's going to make it out alive, and we'll see whether she keeps that. And then we got to the breakfast, and in breakfast, like always, we had to choose a new restriction, and in the restriction, we had to bring back the first motive, or we had to reveal everyone's truths from the second motive. And Alora chose to choose everyone's truth, and we learned a lot of the characters, and I'm not even going to go into that. If you want to learn about all the crazy stuff that went through these characters' lives, go to the last episode and watch it. But with that said, that's enough rambling for me. Let's get into the episode. It's going to cut suddenly because, you know, if you watched last episode, you would know that I stopped in the middle of a very long conversation, so I couldn't save, so I'm going to have to skip through all that dialogue again. But we're going to head into our labor meeting with Asuka for serving some food. Anyway, let's do this. I'm going to cut... No! And we are back, and I'm going to be so honest, rushing you all the dialogue before going into this really makes me realize how slow I am at playing this game. Like, I know it's been like 10 hours, and I'm not even sure how far we're into the chapter. I'm scared we're not even halfway through, but going through that dialogue was like, wow, I really do spend way too much time yapping. We could probably be done with this chapter if I really wanted to. Like, oh, what am I doing? And I was just going through like, oh yeah, bioweapons, yeah, I'm glad we didn't talk about that anymore. Okay, yeah, sure. Lower mean bioweapons, by the way, in case you forgot. But anyway, let's get into it. I wonder, what I'm really curious about is if Asuka finds out that Alora has an AI of Taka in her earpiece now, because I'm sure that's going to be found out. That has to be found out. That's not going to be taken forever. I don't believe that. But when Asuka finds out, I wonder if they're going to scrutinize Alora or if they're going to steal it and try and have it as well, and she'll become what she scrutinized Alora for. And I wonder if the two of them not become friends, but I wonder if she'll be more empathetic to her situation if she falls victim to the same trap that Alora fell into. I wonder. It'd be interesting if that happened. But anyways, let's see what happens between us and Asuka. Everyone disbanded from the meeting, leaving just me and Asuka alone in the canteen. Oh, and also Asuka said there was some stuff we had to talk about, which is like, okay, what is it, Asuka? Please don't scare me. Or kill me even. Don't do anything, just don't do anything to me, really. Most of the food that could be canned or jarred had been already. Even if it wasn't the most ideal to live off of canned goods, it was better than nothing. But it was clear our consumption of food far outweighed our production of it, even with the rationing in place. But more worrying than our food situation was Asuka, who seemed to be weirdly on edge. And I get jump scared whenever the like the I don't know music terms, but when the songs change from their original tempo, it's like, oh wait, what is this? Oh, this is like higher but slower. I don't think it's reverb. I don't even know music terms. So I'm just seeing stuff I've seen before, but yeah, it's interesting. There's so many things preserved. I don't know if half of this stuff is even going to taste good being pickled or jarred like this. It's I think that's the only thing that'll matter to her. Some things just aren't meant to last forever. They weren't designed for it, and when I say it out loud, that feels like it's being symbolic towards something, but I don't know what I mean. Tell that to her. I think she'd jarred humans if she could. Okay, let's not be too unfair on her. I don't think it was very fair to make the decision to end Taka's life without thinking about what he wanted. But I guess we're pretty picky and choosy about who we decide to treat fairly, huh? I felt a lot of tension coming from Asuka. It did put me a little bit on edge, admittedly. Anyway, so how was your day been? The weather's great, isn't it? I think that's the last of the cans. We should move on to seeing what we can do with the flour. Jeez, get my head around these meal plans. There's almost no protein in them. We're gonna feel tired all day. Oh, that's weird. She wrote down the ingredients for a cake today and crossed it out. Is today Taka's birthday? I wonder. I wonder. I wonder whose birthday it is. I feel like it'd be Taka's if anyone's. Just want to rain on anyone's parade, but I don't know if a cake is the best use of our resources right now. It's not like it's any special kind of day. It's just March 3rd. Oh, it's definitely Taka's birthday. Asuka seemed to pause, a realization spreading across their face. It would have been Taka's birthday. Asuka? Is everything okay? Oh, I'm absolutely great. Double June. Asuka paused for a moment and looked to the side. Do you think Alora meant it? Meant what? That she was willing to exert force if it meant it would keep us safe. Oh yeah, I totally believe that. I thought you were going to ask me if she meant to kill Taka, and honestly, I think it was it was a rash moment, impulsive decision, and I think she meant an impulsive decision. But I think if she had a time to think about it, I don't think she would have. But if we're talking about this, yeah, she absolutely would exert force to keep everyone safe. I think she'd do anything. I think she'd like ruin everything here if it meant everyone would be alive. I don't think she'd care what happened to us. As long as we were alive, she wouldn't care what the hell happened to us. I mean, her threats with Zeke when it came to Lyra's dosages seemed pretty empty. Also, we're calling Ezekiel Zeke. That's pretty a small detail I like. She still punished you and Zeke for not doing your task. She took away your food. If you ask me, Shinku, it feels like he's getting letting more and more of this get to her head. It wouldn't surprise me if he used those handcuffs, or locked off some rooms, or just did something drastic soon. I mean, I agree. I do think she's going to do something drastic soon. Not from how she's been acting, but just from a narrative point of view. Something drastic is going to happen very soon. I was like, you're all very correct to be worried about this. You really think so? But don't give me that. I know you talked to her. Shinku, you walked in together from the west side of the prison in the morning while everyone was already seen in the canteen. Of course she knows you talk. Of course they know you talked to her. There was something different about how you looked at her today. Plus, you walked in with her, not from the direction of the cells or anything, but from the bottom entrance of the canteen. Meaning, you two were on the west side of the prison together. What were you guys doing there that early in the morning? It can't have been the washing. The room has been locked off. Just tell her that she was asking you. Just tell her that Alora was asking you about your crime. I said this in the last episode. Just tell her that, and tell her you didn't tell her. That's all you have to do. We were just in the medicine storage for a bit. She was asking me about some things. I swear to God, if you told Alora and I will end you. No, I didn't do anything. I really think she's just stressed out about everything. I hope she's better than letting us get to her head, or well, even if she does, at least she's got good intentions behind it. She clearly just wants to keep us all alive. She wants us to be safe. Her idea of safe is restricted. Who's she to decide her way is the best way? She said she'd keep all of our input in mind, but at the end of the day, she's just making all the decisions by herself. Nothing that we say does anything. She just decide what's best for us, just like she did for. But you're doing the exact same thing, Asuka. That is a fair point. She is arbitrarily deciding that everything Alora is doing is the wrong way, to be fair to her. You are. You're just assuming that Alora is out to get us. You're positioning yourself as someone who inevitably knows what's better for us. You're trying to decide for all of us what we should think about Alora. And you're ostracizing anyone who doesn't agree with you. Shouldn't you be apprehensive about her? You've seen what she's done. If her past decision involved deciding someone, deciding Taka, was better off dead, then how are we meant to believe her idea of keeping us all safe is really going to keep us alive? Because it's clear she regrets what she did to Taka. She wants to move past it. If she regretted it so much, and she did a stupid thing from her ear that she chose over him in the first place. Ooh, I wonder, Shinko, are you gonna just blurt out what she has on that earpiece? Because that would be it. I feel like if you did that, then you were destroying every ounce of trust that Alora has in you. And honestly, even if you're the only person left, I think that would cross a line where she would just ditch you anyway. But in the end, being comfortable is more important to her than actually taking accountability. You're the same, you know. You'd rather have the comfort of the familiar, of just following what she wants instead of stepping up and making those decisions for yourself. No wonder you're so quick to side with her over me. I will say both of these people are parrying very fair points to each other. They're both correct and both wrong in the same way. I was the one who spoke out for you with your truths. I told people to be reasonable and patient with you. I'm trying to help you here, Shinku. I don't know why you're taking her side constantly. I'm not taking sides here. I'm just trying to... I don't care what you're trying to do. I just don't want you to stop in us if... no. When we do need to act against her. If you hesitate for so long, if you stay on that fence, you're just gonna get someone seriously hurt or killed again. Is that what you want? Ugh. You let them down over and over and over again. This is your one chance to get it right this time. If you hesitate, if you ignore the warning signs, if you're not vigilant, if you just follow your biases again, then I'll never forgive you. Even if you step in and try to make things right when it's too late, try to rectify things however you can, I won't forgive you. Because it'll be your fault that things are bad in the first place. It'll be all your fault. Asuka, I don't think this is about... Asuka just looked at me for a moment, stared intensely before looking away. I will say blaming Shinku for everything that has happened and everything that will happen is certainly a choice. I mean, the chatter who blamed Ismene for being sad, I mean, it's given that, Asuka. Let's just make this stupid dough. Yeah, it's just flour and water, right? Some yeast, and that's basically the gist of it. Shame we don't have more flour. You guys had a lot of wheat. Is this really all the flour that came out of it? Yeah, it's a little crazy how little you get out of it compared to how big it starts out. Asuka measured out the flour and grabbed a jug to measure out the water. The two of us working in relative silence, and I'm kind of wondering why I'm talking in Asuka's voice. I think the guy from Chikoramba has really poisoned me with this. I got the impression Asuka had something else they wanted to say, but she was just trying to find the right moment. God, I hated the feeling of anxious anticipation that filled in the air as they began to knead the dough. But when they finally opened their mouth again, I wanted nothing more than to crawl back into the anxiousness of uncertainty of the seconds prior. I'm sorry about your sister. Ugh.
I don't know what the circumstances were, or what you did, or how much your actions were twisted on the truth. But I hope, if nothing else, you were able to learn from it.
Do you know Asuka? I mean, do you know Akari from the past, Asuka? Because I feel like you clearly know Amelia, or you're close to her in some way. And even if you don't remember knowing Amelia, you have some bond you just lost from your memories. There is some connection between you and Amelia, and we know there is some connection between Amelia and Akari. Shinku has stated that. So, I wonder if Asuka knows Amelia and Amelia knows Akari, there's a chance that Asuka knows Akari. And I can't help but wonder if she knows that she's very good at playing how little she cares if she didn't know Akari, but I don't know. I feel like if she knew that Amelia knew Akari, I think she would have a different tune about this. It just feels wrong getting to grow and move and change while she's now stuck in time forever.
I get this. It's different, but I used to feel very guilty about leaving my brother behind. I should have done more to get him out of that situation as well. I should have gone back to get him. I thought I had no right to complain about how he treated me after I left him behind. But deep down, I think I always hated how he treated me. I don't think I ever forgave him for it. I'd spent years just having to suck it up and be the bigger person whenever he did something cruel or mean, just because I was a year older. I had to act like nothing was wrong. I made my new world. When I made somewhere I could finally be happy, where I could have the family I thought I'd always wanted. I guess I was scared that if I went back to him, he'd mess it up. Or he'd hate me so much, he wouldn't want to come with me. I couldn't stand the idea of someone thinking that they were better off staying in that sort of situation than staying at my circus. I had to have created something better. And I didn't want to risk that rejection. So I just told myself to move past it, move past him, and do things better in the future.
And did it get rid of the feeling? Did you ever stop feeling guilty?
Just say you're gonna have a great next few years, Shinku. I'd like to think that I did. But in the end, I just ended up feeling more guilty that I was able to be living so well compared to him. I felt selfish. Life moves on, so you've got to move on with it. New people will depend on you, and you need to, and I need you, and you have to be sure not to let them down.
But if you go forward without looking back at all, you'll just be repeating the same mistakes, won't you?
You all want to talk about that.
And so are you. Honestly, I have a feeling that everyone in this prison just hates themselves, and everyone is a hypocrite, and everyone is just great at spotting the hypocrisy in everyone else except themselves. Except perhaps Lyra. And maybe Fu, but mostly Lyra. We finished up the dough and left it to prove. I've never heard that term, to prove. I've never heard of that. Anyways, in the time we had left before we had all reconvened, we had prepared a small ration lunch Alora had planned for us to have today. The bread wasn't going to be ready to bake for a while, but I was sure we could have it at dinner. I was a little concerned with how much Asuka had to need it. It felt like I did very little work in the grand scheme of things. I was just kind of standing there. I gave us nothing, but I'm not going to think about that part. And now that I consider it, I wonder if the bread is going to be relevant to the murder in some way, or if the bread has been poisoned. Because the making of this bread loaf has been very, very relevant to the chapter, especially with Shinku. Shinku helped Lyra make the flour, and Shinku helped Asuka dough it and make the bread loaf. So I feel like it's gonna be more relevant in some way. I'm not sure how, but smothered with bread dough. But it felt like everyone was a little apprehensive to challenge Asuka these days. Especially with how snippy and short-tempered the lack of food was making everyone. You found 16. We got to a save point. Congratulations, everyone. And then a save point where the time is where the time is altered because of me.
Ew. work today. As far as I'm aware, everyone's on track and didn't stray from their tasks, so congratulations! You will all get all the food you deserve today, hurrah! Let's keep this work ethic and cooperation going for the foreseeable future.
I mean, we've seen how bad the restrictions have gone. At some point, we're just going to be restricted to everything, right? I mean, at a certain point, the restrictions are going to get so severe and so, for lack of a better word, because I don't have a good vocabulary, restricted, that we're just not going to be able to do anything. We're not going to be able to do the labor tasks, and we're eventually just going to be sitting here waiting to die. So yeah. I don't know, Alora. The foreseeable future might only be a couple of days if we're being really realistic about things.
I'd really rather not use force or accept my warden privileges unless completely and entirely necessary.
Dude, you're the one who keeps bringing it up to get us to stay in line. I mean, you've mentioned that twice today already. Just shut up.
Considering the rising tensions amongst the group, I view it as necessary to keep order.
Yeah, whatever you tell yourself is necessary.
Either way, those days didn't stand a chance against me and lie. We scrubbed that shit faster than the government doing a cover-up.
Clean the whole showers too. So we're basically the most productive people in the prison. No need to thank us.
Isn't there a janitor who's meant to do that?
Well, all the cleaning supplies were hardly touched, so who knows what the fuck he's doing. Kind of lazy ass bum janitor is here. I'm not sure what's going on, but he should get a demotion and lose some of his pay.
Probably just complaining that no one wants to sleep with him, knowing what he is like.
But you really didn't have to join us for lunch.
Don't mention it. I'd like to keep in touch with my prisoners.
No, really, we don't particularly want you out. Please leave.
Either way, I'm starving. Did you finish that bread yet?
Not till dinner, unfortunately.
It's still gonna take a bit to prove, but it'll be ready for dinner. We managed to get everything else jarred, though. Excellent. Me and Cersei tended to the crops. They seem to be doing well. I'm hoping that we'll have something to harvest by the time we've eaten through our main remaining supplies.
I'm not a farmer or anything, but I feel like it takes quite a bit for crops like that to grow. Maybe I'm really overestimating the time it takes, but I would have a base minimum of someone who has no expertise of a couple of weeks. I'm not sure if that jarred food will last us that long, and even if it does last that long, by the time we have the jarred food and we harvest the crops, we'll have to make new crops, and those crops are not going to last us for the length of time it will make us to eat through the crops we've already harvested. I'm not sure if we've thought this through at all, Alora.
Don't know what we'll do if we don't. You know, frogs are a delicacy in France. I start breeding them if I was you, boy.
I mean, I said the same thing. I said it at some time. Oh no, I definitely did say it. I can't remember if I thought of it in the last chapter that we'd eat the frogs, but no, I definitely remember saying this out this chapter. We might have to eat the frogs at some point.
Wouldn't be the worst thing you've done by any means, would it? I mean, even putting your main crime aside, kidnapping isn't exactly the most moral thing to do, no matter how you frame it.
Not enough. Slightly frowns and grief eyebrows. It's best for everyone that we don't discuss the truth unless absolutely necessary. Let's try to end this meeting on a high note. I believe everyone has earned some time to themselves. Take it easy this afternoon, and we can reconvene once more for dinner. I will, however, be on patrol in case someone has a lapse in judgment and believes that starting pointless conflict over the truth is in any way productive at this current time. I have handcuffs on me and I will use them.
I really don't think that would be necessary, Alora.
I'm not willing to take any risk at this stage, especially with pre-existing tensions between some of you.
Hate to agree with her, but all it takes at this stage is one to hear the other brain for shit to start between Zeke and Iz.
Not my fault you keep saying stupid shit. It's a wonder someone has gotten sick of our shit already and killed him.
Oh, please. If Ezekiel hasn't had the guts to kill me by now, he's not going to. It doesn't matter what I have to say about his. Well, let's just be polite and say history of attachment issues.
Wanna test that, Diamond Mines?
Great job, YouTube. This is exactly what Alora was gonna say. She's gonna handcuff one of you right now. Great. I'm glad you guys have thought this through.
Well, at least it's out of my control. As far as I'm concerned, feeling that way about matching horrific injuries is all on you. Oh, I don't want to see those little scars. Oh.
Shut the hell up. You're one to speak on attachment issues considering all that shit with your fiance and your weird fucking nymph fantasies. Sick perv.
It's crazy that you bring up her attachment issues and you don't bring up the fact that she forced her classmates and friends to kill someone so they could trauma bond together. How do you not bring that up? You bring up the nymph fantasy harem before that.
Oh, well, forgive me that mine aren't as biblical as yours. But considering the subject matter, they're rather far from holy, are they not?
The hell are you implying?
I think your references are more than clear, Elias.
Well, isn't this just a fine example of textbook projection, huh? You're one to talk, you.
I have half a mind to believe that being sent to all-boys boarding school was the best thing that ever happened to you.
Ooh. Before Ismene could speak any further, Ezekiel practically launched at her, grabbing her hair and tugging her towards him.
Oh,
Wow, when your words have consequences. Well, here we go. Your words have finally enacted a fight between you two, and I'm talking to you too, Ezekiel.
You bitch. You wanna see what happens if you keep running your mouth? You think you can tell me something I don't already know?
Zeke, stop! This is what they want! Come on!
I don't give a shit at this stage if someone as pathetic as me dies. And I'll take you with me if I have to. I've got the guts for it. Don't test me.
Zeke, what the fuck are you doing? Offer! You're better than this shit!
Make me. I'm no better than anyone here. And if this doesn't prove it, I don't know what will. Is this shitty enough for you? Huh?
Get off of me at once! Christ, I'm sorry. What's gotten into you?
Make me. Fight back. Why the hell aren't you doing anything, Isabel? Slay at me. Come on, choke me. God damn it. Why are you only being the bigger person now?
Dude, because she's clearly our no bike. She hasn't done anything yet. She's not hurt anyone, well, except from when she threw wide on you. But that was aside from that, she hasn't physically assaulted anyone here. She clearly just yaps a lot, but she's never gonna hurt anyone. At least I don't think so. And also, I find it interesting that he's getting emotional like this right after his interview, which is another example of someone losing their control after their interview, because his days from boarding school has just been reignited by whoever that interrogator is, and he's clearly more sensitive about the topic now. And similarly, it's another example of someone being more sensitive after their interrogation, going back to Alora when she threatened Zeke to take away Lyra's pills. That was right after her interrogation too, so clearly these people are getting affected by it. Which is not a surprise, because we all saw how everyone broke down in the interrogation, but, aside from that.
What on earth are you on about? Ezekiel, back off! I'm sorry, alright? For goodness' sake!
Both of us deserve to go. Come on. Let's show them this kind of fucked up experience for people that are benefiting from this shit-ass system. Show them just how screwed up we are. Don't act like you're fucking reasonable now, of all times. Don't piss me off. You're not allowed to be. Neither of us are. Not after everything. If I can't grow, neither can you.
Oh, now that's a sorry excuse if I've ever heard one. Ezekiel, let's not be ridiculous here. We're both bad people, but there's no reason we cannot change.
I mean, yeah, if anything, the chapter 2 has really showed that she was trying to change, and she's changed a little bit. I don't know how much, but at the same time, why are you doing this, Zeke? Something's gonna happen. I'm surprised Laura doesn't have Zeke in handcuffs already, if I'm being honest.
If this whole system is run to the core, the only way to change it is removing every fucking rotten cock there is, starting with us.
I mean, that would include everyone here, including Lyra and Asuka. So do you really want to die? Would that be in your last message to them, saying that the two of them should die because they're a rusty fucking cog in the system? Is that really what you want to depart them with? Zeke moved his hand to take further action against Ismene, but before he could, Alora quickly grabbed his arms and shoved the handcuffs on him. Yeah, well, that's not a surprise.
Elias, that is more than enough. Do not make me sedate you.
Do you have sedation injections on you, excuse me?
Now the veils are off. Happy to be all controlling as long as you're not the worst here. I knew it.
You're speaking nonsense. I'm going to detain you in your own cell for a few hours until dinner. Until you've calmed down.
Calm down. Did you hear the shit you was saying?
I mean, it wasn't nice, but you can't just jump on her and try to kill her and saying you're going to kill her. Like, you can't just do that.
Did you see how you were acting? What were you saying? You're really only working to prove my point here. It's safer to keep on the lookout and save any potential discussions about the truth for regulated group meetings while everyone is present. Is that reasonable?
What? I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say the person with sedation on her. I'm not gonna go as far off to become a honest. No, no way. No, thank you. No one was set up to say no, but no one seemed particularly happy about this either. There was an uneasy feeling amongst the group, but we were mostly shocked about Ezekiel's outburst.
Good. I'll see you all at dinner. Elias, you're coming with me.
We all slowly made our way out of the canteen, under the watchful eye of Alora. There was a certain distance about her now I couldn't quite describe. Either way, it was best to keep myself busy to distract myself from the hunger. I didn't want to particularly dwell on the current situation. I was concerned for Alora, but I wasn't certain how much she was willing to hear from me at this stage. And I was similarly concerned with Ismene. Even if we weren't talking, I was worried she'd gotten hurt. But despite her continuing her usual pettiness with Ezekiel, I was a little surprised at how resistant she was to what he was saying. It really made me wonder how she'd be doing. I knew I couldn't know for sure, but I hoped she was doing well. File 17. Alora, handcuff me next, please. Okay, chat, be quiet. Oh, I thought it'd be free time. I didn't think we'd go into another scene. Huh. Well, what I was going to say is, listen, all I'm saying is that I'm pretty sure Alora only has one pair of handcuffs, so if we want to attack her without any consequences, let's group it up right now. Well, even though if we all group it up now with the handcuffs, she can't really do much with it. But if she has sedation, I guess going up against her one-on-one wouldn't be a bad thing. So, okay, listen, all I was saying was, Asuka, if you wanted to make your move, now would be the time to rally the troops. Now that she has no handcuffs.
What on earth are you doing here, Chattel?
What? The girl's not allowed to read now? Wow.
That's not what I'm saying. Oh, never mind.
You are feeling better from earlier?
Yes, it was a bit of a shock initially, but I think I perhaps crossed
a few lines. Well, you definitely crossed some lines, but Zeke saw you cross the line by an inch, and then brought out a gun and shot you for it. Like, he definitely overreacted as well. You both did wrong things here.
I think the hunger is starting to get to me. I'm sure it's gone to him too, so I'll try not to hold it against him.
I mean, hunger causing you to exert your energy is certainly something. But yeah, I do think he's not being himself right now. You're not self when you don't have stickers. Oh, it's lovely sticker. Oh. I'm sure it's gone to him too.
I'm sure it's gone to him too, so I'll try not to hold it against him. It's not an ideal situation for anyone here. You're not yourself when you don't have stickers. I really should stop throwing stones in glass houses. I hope Ezekiel has calmed down. I should not have provoked him as I did. He clearly isn't well.
I think we all should. a lot of us are a lot more similar than we realize, if you ask me. Like I said, I think everyone here is very similar and very hypocritical.
It's horrible to admit, but perhaps that's why he gets under my skin so much. He does remind me terribly of some of the worst parts of me. But I think he's wrong. It's not like we can't change, can we?
I think he's worried. He doesn't have the patience for it.
Regardless, it's in the past now. I believe we both have bigger things to worry about.
If you say so. Hey, what's that you are reading? And why the hell did the text box disappear for a moment? I feel like I should have looked around for something, but I guess I'm too blind for that. Is that... Dude, why are you, of all people, reading an anti-ultimate book? Well, clearly what the janitor said clearly got to her.
I suppose I just wanted to see another perspective.
There's some pretty good arguments with them, but, you know, not much point. This whole thing is just gonna make people see those involved in the movement as less human than they already did.
Ugh. Why did you do it?
Huh?
Take your talent.
I mean, like, it sounds selfish, but... it was just easiest. I was tired at that point. I wanted something good. Maybe if I was stronger, perfect, a better human, I would have stayed true to what I believed, and would have just rejected it and stood strong. But life isn't really like that in the end.
No, I think you were perfectly human. Listen, I cannot begin to know what you've been through, how you suffered. My life has been entirely different, but if your truths are... If your truths are an indication of anything, all I can say for certain is, I don't think you deserved a life like that. I believe, all things considered, you did the best you could.
I mean, just confess already, please.
Seeing everything you went through, everything I've struggled with seems pretty silly comparison.
Nah, if you struggle with it, if it impacted you, I think it's still pretty damn important. It's weird, really, because those things are my truths. I never really thought about them too hard. For me, that was just life, not something I struggled with too much in the moment. Like, I know they should have impacted me a lot, but it's like, it was just how it was. No one else seemed to care that much, so I thought I shouldn't either.
No one was concerned? That's impossible.
When I got pregnant, it was just like, I don't know, mildly inconvenient for the guy I was with. I told him, and it wasn't like a choice or anything. He just presumed I get an abortion. Which, like, yeah, I was going to, don't get me wrong. But to him, it was just like getting a tooth removed, or getting a haircut. He just told me to go to the clinic. I did, and when I got home afterwards, we just didn't talk about it. It felt crazy at the time, because he just seemed to completely forget about it. Life just continued on for him. But even if I was never intent on having that kid, I still felt emotional and shit over it all. But of course you did. That was your child, so of course you felt a little bit about it. You're not just gonna forget it. You're not psychopathic. You're not just gonna forget something like that. To me, it was a big deal. I sort of hoped it would be a wake up call. That he'd be more careful, or I don't know, be nicer to me or some shit. I wanted him to tell me I was being careless and irresponsible, or just, God, I don't know. I feel like I was right in any way to feel emotional about it at all. Like I wasn't just being stupid, overreacting. But none of that happened.
Christ. I swear to God, when I get out here, I'll repeat my crime once again. So help me.
I know, right? Wait, maybe don't murder him. I mean, I don't really like him either, but you know, we don't have to go to that. We don't have to give another reason to extend our sentences. I guess that's why when he was overdosing, part of it was like, yeah, shit, I don't want to get arrested, but also, I don't know. I guess it was a little vindicating to feel as apathetic as I did. Oh my god, that's crazy. That makes me sound insane, doesn't it? I mean, yes, but I sort of understand why you felt like that towards him. But yes, that is kind of it is crazy.
Maybe I'm insane too, but it sounds shockingly reasonable to me.
You know, call me crazy, but I feel like the murderer who forced their friends to kill someone maybe isn't the best person I should take for moral advice, but maybe that's just me. Come on, you don't gotta lie to me.
Well, I can at least see where you're coming from. Then,
Yeah, I can see where she was coming from. That's a good way to put it. I guess in the moment, none of my struggles really felt like them. It was just how I was living. And only really now I can look back at them and think, wow, that was kind of messed up. When living in a killing game, it makes you realize how messed up your life is. You know, something's
kinda.
Okay, maybe a little more than kinda. It's sort of hard to grapple with, because it's how I lived for so long.
Oh, for what it's worth, Lyra, I am sorry. I should not have treated you in the way I did, believing I knew what was best for you, that you were just blind to it all. Even if I did, I realize now that forcing you to change wouldn't have done you much good at all. That strength has to come from within.
I forgive you. It's alright. You're not the first, and you won't be the last, I'm sure.
But I want to do better. Living in such ignorance will only keep me pushing away from others. Nothing will change if I don't. If I stay like this, I'll just become the sort of person who pushes down others just to feel better about themselves. I'll just be like my professor. I couldn't bear to live myself if I was like that. And I want you to have better than that, if nothing else. You deserve it after everything you've been through.
Then I hope you find that strength yourself. I know you will. You're the type who doesn't stop until something goes your way, for better or for worse.
I hope you find it too. Whatever it is for you.
Oh god, the Lyra die flags have increased. And to be fair, some of the Ismene ones, but Lyra with Zeke, Lyra with Ismene, Lyra with Shinku, god, the dead flags are waving and the alarms are ringing and I'm very scared and I don't know how to feel about all of that, but it was a nice interaction. After a while of hunkering down in my room, I started to get restless. God, I knew the group meeting tonight would be stressful. That was currently something else that I didn't really think about, and nor did I want to think about it currently. I should find something to do to distract myself. Maybe I should try talking to someone or seeing if anyone else has anything I could help with.
Free time.
Well, is there any favors to do? I think there might be because it's been a while since we've done one. Yup, there's Alora. I'm not sure if Laura's guarding Zeke's cell or there's a favor. Do I want to do this? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go talk around to others. I'm gonna go talk. Laura, what's up? Alora, how's your patrol going?
Fine. Everyone seems to be having some alone time, and Ezekiel stopped bashing on his door, so I'm taking a second to rest, no longer have to worry of the door breaking down or him murdering me. I just hope they won't take advantage of this brief period to make any further foolish decisions.
I'm sure everyone will be fine if you leave them to their own devices for an hour or two.
Huh. Best to be safe than sorry.
God, I think you'll be the one who will end up sorry if you keep pushing yourself like this. This is further and further sounding to be like a free time event and not a favor. That is quite sad. All you're doing is further isolating yourself. No wonder you can't get rid of that earpiece. It's the only thing you have right now that you feel you can talk to.
Okay, well, you didn't have to call me out like that. That was just unnecessary. Even if I wish to talk to anyone else, I hardly think the feeling would be mutual.
Well, if you'd like, I wouldn't mind talking to you.
Do not jeopardize your own safety like that, Krutski. You're already isolated enough as is.
Well, even if the others hate me, I wouldn't be entirely lonely. If that happens, we can just be isolated together.
Oh. You really do have your moments, Krutski. I mean, there is a lot you do wrong, but sometimes the 1% in you shines out. For what it's worth, even if you did break my trust a little, I still appreciate you greatly. Thank you for being so patient with me.
It's the least I can do, really.
It's more than I deserve after everything. But if you are genuine about wanting to spend some time together, if you'd like, we could go to my room, I guess.
Alora, your room is empty.
Oh, right, the canteen maybe. Please do excuse me if this is presumptuous, but perhaps we could hold a small funeral service together for both of our sisters?
Ooh, that'd be sweet. That'd be nice.
I assumed we haven't exactly been given sufficient time enough to make peace with it. Quite frankly, when I heard my sister died, I didn't really feel like I had the time to react or really process it.
I actually wasn't aware your sister died. That's horrible.
That time, there was work to be done. I just had to continue with my life, but it might be good to finally sit down and at least mourn her.
My condolences. I didn't know your sister had also passed.
My condolences to you as well, Krutski. Especially with how fresh it is. I thought you'd perhaps to appreciate a judgment-free space to process it and discuss your feelings about it. I really, truly am not in any position to judge you myself after all.
That sounds a little heavy.
Well, the offer is open. If you're interested, come meet me in the face room later.
I'll have a think about it. Thank you, Alora.
Stay safe, Shinku.
So do I just go to the fair room and Alora's gonna be there, or what? Because I kind of like if I okay, let's see. If I go out and come back in, is Alora still there? No, but Alora's still there. Well, cool. Well then, that is the favor for this time round, and I'm definitely going to do it because you know I'm always going to do the favors. But now I'm going to do the rounds and talk to everyone just so I can get the extra dialogue. Here we go.
Hey, Millie. What the hell do you want?
Should I try talking to Amelia? Abso-friggin-lutely we should.
You know, even if the summer you immediately pissed me off, I still do like watching you.
Watching me or watching us as a whole? I feel like you mean a whole. I get the feeling you don't really like me that much. Thanks. I'm glad we're entertained at the very least.
It sounds stupid as hell, but when Takiko was alive, she and Asuka used to have these sleepovers constantly. I liked watching those. Sometimes I'd... never mind.
I won't judge.
I swear to God, I have handcuffs and I will do it and I will make you suffer. This doesn't leave the room. Got it?
Right. Of course. Of course. Okay.
I'd watched them to feel like I was there with them. I always thought they looked fun.
I mean, I was able to extrapolate that from what you were saying earlier. You didn't need to say that. Now I kind of wish I didn't make the deal because then I could talk to everyone about it. Well, whoops.
It was nice being in the anti-English movement and finally having friends my age. But we were all pretty dedicated to the cause and, well, everything. I never really got a chance to be a typical teenage girl and do all that girly sleepover crap. So it was nice to feel like I was part of it for a bit, even if I wasn't.
When the warden of the killing game is having parasocial relationships with the prisoners, what is this? That's actually kind of cute.
Stay sweet one more time, and you'll get a sweet, sweet knuckle sandwich in her face.
Who says knuckle sandwich anymore?
My bad. I forgot you were more of a feed guy.
Excuse me?
Oh, well, what can you do?
You can insult me all you like. It's not gonna make me leave.
Okay, I guess I should get I should get the taser out then. I really do hate you. Just make sure the sleepover thing doesn't leave the room, okay? I'm serious about that. I already hard enough reminding myself I wasn't there. Sometimes I end up slipping up, feeling way closer to Oscar than I actually am. They have no idea about any of it.
Oh, so that's why. So you don't even have. So you're not even. You don't even know Asuka, but you know me clearly. I guess she did say I was the only one she got. She suggested names, and I was the only one who got in. So I guess that doesn't play that they wouldn't know each other.
Maybe I idolized Asuka a little too much. I know they kind of suck, but I guess I sort of wish that I was plucked out of that hospital and taken into the hellish world. I think I would have liked that. Anything would have been better than what I grew up in. Well, whatever. It was a pretty stupid thing to do. I know that, but at least I'm not doing it anymore.
If you thought it was stupid in the first place, why did you do it?
Well, I've been almost completely isolated since I got here. It was nice for a little bit. I feel a little less alone.
You know, if you do want to talk, I am here.
Do you seriously think, out of everyone here, I want to talk to our brother? I don't understand what the hell you think you're gonna get out of continuing to talk to me.
I guess we'll see. I do fear I won't be able to get everything out of her because I have missed some missed some conversations, but I'm gonna keep talking to her as much as I can, get as much as I can out of her. Yeah, well, if anything, it just further shows that she does know us and Akari, which was very self-explanatory and very easy to know. But yeah, I guess it just further confirms it. And that's why I didn't really talk about it, but I find it really sweet that Alora did remember Taka's birthday and was gonna make a cake for it despite the limited food resources. And I wonder if that would show Asuka that she did actually care about Taka, and I wonder if we'll get her to be a little less scrutinizing of her. I doubt it, but it'd be interesting to see. I think it just showed that she did care about Taka, even if she made very bad decisions. Oh, hey, Fu. I wish you were in the other room, so I would have found you while I was still talking. So now I'm just going to have an awkward 5 seconds of silence because I couldn't be bothered to cut that out. But here we go. Hey, Fu.
Did you have to turn on the light when you came in there?
The lights, you were in here in the dark? Was it because you're drunk again and the lights hurt you? I don't know. What are you doing here?
Got a killer headache. Just trying to stay somewhere dark, quiet and cool.
Still not recovered from last night, huh?
Yeah, God. Guess I went pretty hard. But it was fun. Can't fault the guy who wanted to live it up, though.
Can you? I can fault you for whatever reason I find, even if it's not a good one. Was it fun? Don't be sloppy about it. Actually, I can fault you for quite a bit, actually. If you're going to put us all through this, at least be man enough to get through it sober. Make sure you remember every detail of what you're doing.
Huh. With all this spine coming from kid to slap me across the face really waking you that much.
Maybe you were too blacked out to recall me growing it.
Guess I wish. Leave me alone. You're giving me a headache, kid.
I don't want to particularly be around him either. I want to go now. We should go. I should leave. Bye.
Oh, Ismene, hello. I see you haven't left since Alora came in and you guys had a date. Ismene had her nose in some kind of book. She was near the end of it, but looked up at me and flicked the cover to her lap as I approached.
Is everything alright? Can I help you?
Oh, yeah, hey, even if we're not talking, I just wanted to see if you were doing okay from earlier.
Oh, I'll be fine. I was just admittedly a little concerned at the things Ezekiel was saying. But I doubt he has the guts to kill me. I think he's just trying to provoke me further.
Now that I think about it, is Zeke even going to be able to attend the night meeting tonight? I know that Alora said she'd release him for dinner, but would she just lock him up again? I wonder if he'll even be there.
Still, I should be more careful with my words. I shouldn't have sparked that. It was unnecessary.
I think the hunger is making us all a little bit snippy.
Indeed.
Well, I'll leave you to your book. I'm just glad to hear you're not seriously hurt. Take care of yourself. All right, Ismene?
You too.
Ismene cut herself off and quickly flicked her head back down to her book, lowering her voice.
Thank you.
Oh, well, too bad. Sorry, why did you say I didn't hear you? Oh, wait. No, God, I didn't mean to. Okay. Oh, hey, Asuka. How you doing looking at all the other preserved foods? You know, whatever job you do. Oh, are you looking over the bread? Actually, probably looking over the bread. Right, that makes a lot more sense. Asuka had all of Alora's meal plans in hand, reading through them pretty thoroughly. Seemingly pretty deep in thought. Is she looking to see if she had any other meals that were specifically prepared for the dead, or maybe just Taka? That'd be in there. Well, Asuka, what are you?
Just taking no back of what she wanted to speak tonight. It's very confusing. Even if she's abiding by a certain amount of calories a day, it won't hurt to have some protein, you know? Otherwise, we won't be able to think for ourselves. I remember back at the circus, when we were first starting out, it was hard to get a lot of high-protein food. Just having carbs was cheaper and more feasible. And it kept everyone alive, sure, but everyone was super sleepy and could hardly think for themselves. God, it was a good thing I still had my head on straight, or else the whole thing would have crashed before it even got a chance to start.
That's good.
I could do the same here, you know. She can only lock one at a time, after all. If there were ever to attempt to ambush her or try to usurp her authority here, it would be now.
Oh God, you listen to me. I didn't mean that. I was like, why you listen to me? No, stop. But I will say, how could you? Because I'm sure in like at the circus you could have budgeted your spending and preferred more expensive protein for less food. But like in here, we have a limited amount of food. What could you do that Alora couldn't? Unless you're implying she's hiding protein somewhere, or not even protein, but hiding other food for herself. Like there is really not much you could do. But yes, you are correct. If there was a time to attack her, it'd be now. Okay, I really do not think that is a good idea.
I think you'll be surprised. If you follow me, everything will be alright.
Okay, you can't just say, if you follow me, everything will be alright, then scrutinize Alora for thinking she's doing everything. She thinks she knows what to do. You didn't let Nigo follow you. Okay, well, I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to piss her off. I think I'll follow Alora for now. Thing is, this is going to upset her because this will be fencing further, but I'm going to say it just see how she reacts, see if she points out on fencing. If we leave it now, it's possible Ezekiel might get hurt. He is in a pretty vulnerable position. I understand wanting to do something sooner rather than later, especially when she's getting more extreme. But isn't the whole point of doing something to make sure no one else get hurt?
Yes, you're right. I just don't really like having much control now. Maybe we could set us the bread or something. Knock around and steal the keys.
Oh gosh, she's poisoned the bread like I said earlier. Asuka, why you listen to me? Stop it. I'm not the person with good ideas. I'm not the person you be listening to in this situation.
Maybe not that far. You really need more drive, shouldn't you? You're the only thing stopping yourself from being in a better situation right now, you know? I'm just trying to help.
I'm sure she is too.
Okay, I'm going to ignore that, because I would kill you if you said that into my face, because I know you wouldn't. But you're right. I don't want to risk him, especially since he already seems not be doing all that great mentally. I don't want him doing anything stupid or impulsive. I just need something to take my head off all of this. I don't like being reminded of the truths. How about we hang out for a bit before we get started on dinner? Might help keep us busy a bit.
Nah. I'll leave you to suffer.
Actually, let me know if you change your mind.
Yeah. I probably... Who can we hang out with? Alora has a favor. Zeke is trapped in his room. We talked to Phil. We talked to Ismene. We talked to Asuka. So it's Lyra, right? And it's me. So we have to find Lyra. But before we look for Lyra, there's just something I want to check first. I want to check if the washroom is locked. I'm sure it's going to say, it's locked and we won't be able to go in, but I'm just curious. It's locked off. Yeah, fair enough. I'm just curious if that's what would happen. Well, since I'm already at this side, I may as well go to the gym first. Okay, so I have bad news. I was looking for Lyra and I couldn't find her anywhere, so she's probably somewhere I just missed her like an idiot, but she was somewhere and I didn't find her. So I thought, oh, maybe she's in the face room because that's the only room I haven't checked. And if I go in there, maybe I'll have to talk to her before we do the event with Lyra, Alora. And I thought if we went into the face room, we'd have to talk to Alora again. But I've kind of activated the favor now, so guess we're coming to this. Sorry, all the Lyra fans. I'm the number one, so I guess it's something affected me the mostly. But you know what? I guess we'll move on. I was kind of apprehensive about accepting Laura's D and other words I forgot to read because I didn't think about it at all. And partially because even now, I really wanted to do everything I possibly could to avoid thinking about what had happened to Akari. It felt strange. I'd never see her again. Maybe that's why I tried to hide away from every reminder of it. I just wanted things to be normal. I wanted the simplicity of my life before everything happened. But life doesn't work like that, and I knew I'd have to face it eventually. So, I sat quietly in the face room, waiting for Alora to arrive. I closed my eyes and melted into the soft serenity of the cool room, drifted into my own thoughts, only snapping back into focus when I heard a voice behind me. You came? Yeah, damn right I did. Why is that music? It's kind of ominous. Also, why are we down? I saw a character down at the bottom, which should be percent, and Laura's front of us. Anyway, I'm not going to question the fine details. She seemed oddly surprised. Of course. I thought it could be good for both of us. I see. And Laura quietly approached me and sat down next to me. The two of us sat in silence, introspecting side by side as we looked at the altar in front of us. I was not religious by any means, but perhaps I felt I needed to repent somehow. But I had no idea what she was feeling as she stared alongside me. This is nice. Well, isn't this awkward? Eventually, where is this music from? I've heard this music somewhere. When was it? Oh, I think I just remembered. I think it was back in it was back in Trial 2 when Alora was talking about Lilith. Ooh, yeah, I think that's where this music is from. Well, that's. Eventually, our quiet contemplation was broken by her opening her mouth to speak.
You know, it's a little funny.
What's so chuckling?
I've never been good with loss, even when I knew it was coming, but with Esther, my sister, it didn't even really feel like I lost anything.
Well, if you never met her, well, even if you did meet her, if you never really had time to interact with her, I kind of understand why you'd feel like you didn't lose anything. Because if you never spent much time with her, it would feel like nothing was really lost.
I know it sounds terrible, but it always felt like an inevitability. When my parents informed me she was gone, I didn't even really question what they meant. They didn't make a big fuss about it, so I thought if I did, then I'd be being ridiculous. I thought moving on and not letting those things bother you was just part of being an adult. Perhaps that's why I was so ashamed that in every other instance where I did lose someone that I couldn't deal with it. Sensible adults were meant to deal with it well. So I did, at least in public. I was so ashamed of how I felt, I decided to cope in any way I could, really. Anything to keep me moving.
I'm sorry, that's not the point to laugh, but Chiku seems so annoyed to be here. His face like, God, why did I agree to come here? Why am I listening to her? God, this is so, I hate everything about this. Oh. And I would say both of them looked very tired, which is kind of makes sense considering the situation we're in, but I think it's a neat touch to have the heavy eye bags.
Guess it's easier just to pretend nothing has changed at all. It's very easy to want to stay in the past. I think I never realized just how bad things had gotten between me and Akari because I was so focused on the past. I used to practically be her hero. I just assumed no matter what phase she was going through, she could never hate me. And my parents just assumed when she was having a meltdown or something, it was just her being difficult. It was always something with Akari. So after a while, I just started tuning it out a bit. It became an everyday thing. I guess I just kind of thought my parents were right about her, and somewhere along the line I became complicit in it.
That's understandable. You're meant to listen to your parents, after all. They're meant to guide you through life. Was she a bit of a troublemaker?
That's an understatement. She never really did all that well in school. I never really clicked with her. She never found anything that she thought was worth devoting all her time to. If she wasn't good at something instantly, she gave up on it pretty instantly.
The double use of the word instantly is kind of funny. I don't know why it really made me chuckle.
And because of that, she got involved with some pretty bad kids her age, and that spiraled into her getting involved with the anti-ultimate movement.
Well, that's kind of awkward considering you're an ultimate, huh? I guess that makes sense.
And it's kind of hard to really parrot anything that movement was saying when you're actively benefiting from it. I think she started to resent herself and all of us, and that caused a lot of fights.
Esther was a bit like that, always causing issues. Presumably for attention. I wouldn't know. I didn't give her much. But even so, she had all the resources to become just like me. If she just had the drive, she'd have been able to reach a similar level of achievement to me. She could have had my life if she so wished.
I mean, I'm sure. Have you ever thought about that? Esther was your younger twin sister. I'm sure Laura's thought about that. If she was the one that came out second, she would have been the one that turned out to be Esther. I wonder how she feels about the fact that if just one little thing changed, she wouldn't have been able. She wouldn't be living this life at all. She would be Esther. So I wonder. I just wonder how she feels about all of that.
But she didn't want it. That always confused me. Assuredly, my life was meant to be close to perfect. Many people would do anything to be in my position. And yet she rejected that. In her eyes, even dying was more freeing and ideal than what would conventionally be considered good. Even if I can hardly recall what she was like. Even when my only clear memory of her is of a scruffy, white-haired child, covered in dirt, digging out silkworms from their enclosures and trying to bring them to show me.
Okay, random question. I kind of assumed your hair was dyed. But did you have natural white hair? Is that a thing? I didn't realize you could have natural white hair when you were a child. That is kind of crazy to think about. What are your powers?
While thoughts of what she was like before it all happened never really crossed my mind. I can never stop thinking about that decision she made. That, despite how much freedom she was given, she somehow believed running was more liberating. That dying was more freeing. I wonder a lot if she finally found happiness through that, or if she regretted it. Either way, I admit I occasionally find myself slightly jealous of her.
How so?
Jealous of the fact she was able to make such a definitive decision for herself. That despite everything, she made that decision entirely of her own volition. And no matter how it turned out, I will always admire and be slightly envious of that. My whole life, I've simply done what I was told because it was best. I thought if I saw how things ended for her, I'd know for certain that staying on the straight and narrow was indeed for the best. That I'd have my beliefs confirmed. But all I've really been able to glean from it, thinking back through my decisions from the last few weeks, is that I don't think there really is a solid universal best. Different things work for different people. What might be for the best for one person is detrimental to another. I remember when she'd bring those silkworms to me. I was a little put off. I thought she ought not to interfere with what they were meant for in the lab. But she'd argue that domesticated silkworms, when they turn into moths, can never really fly. That they'd be stuck forever. So she'd let them free to give them a chance to fly.
But if they'd lived their whole life in captivity until that point, it's unlikely they'd survive out in the wild long enough to turn into moths. She knew that.
But to her, that small chance that they would be able to fly, at the risk of everything else, at the risk of certain death, was worth it. It was better than a safe existence of being stuck.
You two sound quite different.
Don't be mistaken. I'm happy with how my life ended up. I try not to dwell on what her life was like too much.
You know, the stammering after you said I'm happy does not make you sound more convincing, Alora, just so you're aware.
At the end of the day, the only thing I really do not have a satisfying answer to is if she or I ended up happier.
It seems like a pretty simple question to me. I mean, you got everything you ever could have wanted.
Right. So it's curious I cannot seem to land on an answer to it, isn't it?
I wondered a lot about that too. To me, my life was ideal. But to Akari, life was unbearable. I couldn't understand why she was so miserable, why she didn't just try harder to be good, to focus on school. But I suppose it never crossed my mind if she was happier like that. I just assumed she was running away from happiness because it was too much effort. Either way, I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm sorry for yours, Kutsuki.
I don't think I'm the one who deserves a sorry in this situation.
I mean, I still think you. I still think it's nice to say it.
I just wish I had said it before it was too late.
Alora paused, doing something very strange, and moving her hand to mine, quietly interlacing her fingers between mine and squeezing it.
I think we all have things we wish we'd have said while we still had the chance. Though, you really should stop being so kind to me, Kutsuki. Everyone who attaches to me seems to die.
Well, Alora, I don't do that because then I'm going to get scared you're going to die, and I actually don't want that. Then again, I don't really want, like I said before, I don't really want anyone here to die, so maybe we should just not have a body of it all, and we should just follow Alora's plan and follow under her for the foreseeable future. I like that idea if we all survive, actually. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, Taka, Molly, Jakul.
Maybe we're both bad luck charms.
I suppose you're spending so much time with me in hopes of doubling your chances. Well, if that's the case, I won't allow it. I won't let anyone have to mourn you.
I thought she was going to say, if we did die, she wouldn't let anyone mourn us. I'm like, okay, Alora, that's a bit extreme, but no, she meant that she's not going to let us die. Okay, obviously that's what she meant.
That's not it.
Then what is it?
Both our bad lucks will cancel each other out, obviously.
I suppose I just didn't want you to feel alone.
Oh.
Is there really any way to stop such a feeling?
There's only one way to find out, isn't there?
The two of us sat in silence for a little longer, occasionally exchanging a few words or thoughts. But admittedly, I wasn't as open as I felt I should be. Maybe I was still trying to run from what I'd done. But, on the other hand, as much as I wanted to be there for Alora, I couldn't let myself say too much. After all, it was not just a conversation between the two of us. As long as she had that earpiece in there would be others who would be listening. I just hoped she would take it out soon and instead focus on the people she did have left, instead of focusing on what she had lost. But maybe that was being too optimistic. She was a domesticated silk moth after all, raised and pruned in a glass enclosure all of her life. It would take a miracle for her to be able to fly. Or maybe that's just what we told ourselves to give us an excuse not to try. Maybe we were just too scared of falling a few times in our attempts. Maybe we were the ones who were running.